Check. Can you hear me? Can I get confirmation that you can hear me? What's up, Mike? Versatility. It is a coin flip. It's always a coin flip with this team. QB, how you doing? Davey, how are you? Can't hear me? All right. Jackson, what's up? Harrison, what's going on? How do I feel about Alfaro? Oh boy, are we gonna get into it. Oh boy, are we gonna get into it, chat. That's why I think, okay, this is not a rain delay. I just haven't updated this. What's up, Peter? Sox 1-0. A's 0. Top 1. I feel like we'd space out A's, huh? Or at least let me put this in here. That looks kind of weird, doesn't it? We're going to do that. Yeah, no rain delay today. No rain delay today, which is good. It's a beautiful day here in eastern Massachusetts. About 90 degrees out. What's going on, chat? I'm excited because we are doing, not only are we doing watching the game day, chat, we're going to be pulling double duty because I didn't have time to make a video on all the roster moves today. But we're going to talk about all the roster moves live right here, right now. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about all the roster moves right here and right now. What's good, Maxwell? Let's beat the A's tonight. God, I hope so. JB, how you doing, my friend? All right. So where do we want to start? All right. So let's start with Alfaro. I think because we'll go timeline wise, right? We'll go timeline wise. We'll start by talking about Alfaro. I don't know about this move. I think it's really, really interesting. So for those of you who don't know, Jorge Alfaro was signed to a 1-year major league contract with the Red Sox. And he's back, right? He's back. He's playing on the major league team. He hasn't played in a game yet, but he is in the major league clubhouse. What's interesting about this is, one, you DFA Caleb Hamilton, which is fine, right? I mean, whatever. Caleb Hamilton was giving you absolutely nothing overall, so it kind of makes sense that they're not going to try something with Caleb Hamilton. But Jorge Alfaro, for those of you who don't know, actually did play with another major league team. He was with the Rockies, where in 10 games he hit 161 with a 387 slug and a 44 OPS plus. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I guess Alfaro's offensive ceiling is way higher than Caleb Hamilton, but defensively, I think Hamilton beats him there. So it's going to be interesting to see what the trade-off is there. But what I'm really curious about is the fact that picking him up essentially means that Reese McGuire is a really, really long ways away, or we got ourselves a bit of a trade rumor going on here. Because if you think about it, right, if Reese McGuire is 2 or 3 weeks out, why does it make sense to pick up Jorge Alfaro? Did they really not like Caleb Hamilton that much? Probably not, right? What's up, Eric? They probably didn't not like Caleb Hamilton so much they're going to sign Alfaro for 2 or 3 weeks. So to me, that means one of two things, right? Either Reese McGuire is going to be out for a really long time. I'm talking months, right? Maybe even transfer to the 60-day IL. Or they're trying to get something going in terms of a trade with Reese McGuire. Because you're not going to give up Connor Wong. He is clearly your everyday catcher at this point. I think if you're going to trade one of the catchers, it's going to be Reese McGuire. So you got to kind of figure signing Jorge Alfaro has got to at least move the needle a little bit on possibly trading Reese McGuire, which is interesting, right? It's extremely, extremely interesting. What's up? What's up, Pac-Man? So, in my opinion, it's a bit of an interesting sort of back and forth here as to why the Red Sox would re-sign Alfaro. My guess is that McGuire is going to be out for a while, right? That would be my guess, but that trade rumor sticks in the back of my head just a little bit. As for the other moves here, what's Alfaro good at? He does have some potential with his bat, for sure. He hit really, really well in the minors for the Red Sox. For the Red Sox this year, between the Red Sox, okay, this doesn't split it up, but between the Red Sox and Colorado, he had a 323 average with an 890 OPS, and he had 7 home runs with 33 RBIs. So he's pretty good offensively, at least in the minor leagues, right? He hasn't really translated fully to the major leagues, but that potential is there. And if you're talking between Caleb Hamilton and Jorge Alfaro, bat-wise, it's not a competition, right? So the other roster moves was, I'm going to pull it up just so I make sure I don't miss anything, because there were a couple here. Let me get the exact roster moves for you guys so we don't forget anyone. Okay, so obviously James Paxton's back. He was on paternity leave. Again, I have a bit of a problem with the fact that MLB players only get 4 days, I think, off on paternity leave. I don't know why I keep calling it maternity leave. But either way, that's sort of not really big news. The second thing is that Yu Chang is back officially from the 60-day IL. He is on today's lineup. So he's back, and he's going to be playing full-time shortstop. Alex Cora already full-time shortstop. To me, it's so weird that, like, I'm excited about Yu Chang coming back, and I'm not excited about Yu Chang coming back because I think he's going to transform this entire Red Sox team, but I just love the stability he brings to shortstop, right? And he wasn't hitting terribly for the Red Sox when he was here. I'll get to your question in a second, Free. Thank you so much, Lucas. Right, he wasn't a really bad player when he was here. I mean, he was only hitting 136 with a 34 WRC plus, but no, I'm good, Paul. Thank you, though. Or are they trying to get trade value for Alfaro, which they could only get for him playing well? I mean, that could be the reason they got Alfaro, but that would be, I mean, to sign him to a major league deal, I don't know. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But maybe that is what they're doing. I don't know. But either way, I mean, Yu Chang's not going to give you anything offensively, right? He'll give you quite literally bare minimum. But he's going to be really good for you defensively, and right now, that's what the Red Sox need. And I'm just trying to see if Yu Chang had a little bit better of a last. I mean, his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He hasn't played since April. That's crazy. He was hitting .222 in his last 5 games with 2 home runs. So, again, he's not going to give you much. But it is exciting to have some stability back at shortstop. Obviously, the corresponding move to that, well, one of the corresponding moves was to option David Hamilton. Fine by me, right? David Hamilton wasn't giving you anything at the plate, and his speed is great, but if he wasn't getting on base, that was kind of useless. And then he didn't really have that great of a glove. So I'm not going to miss him all that much, right? As much as, David Hamilton was exciting, I guess, you're not going to get that much. You're just not. You're not going to get that much out of him. So, yeah, I don't hate David Hamilton being optioned. They put Caleb Ord on the 15-day IL, retroactive July 5th. Whatever, right? Okay. It's right elbow inflammation. Who knows what comes of that? I'm kind of shocked it wasn't a DFA. But they did put Caleb Ord on the 15-day IL, and they designated left-handed pitcher Ryan Sheriff. Do you guys remember Ryan Sheriff? He played a couple of games for the Red Sox up this year, and he actually did pretty well. This one kind of surprised me at first, but let me explain why this might make sense. So Sheriff actually had a 2.70 ERA in 5 games with a 3.14 FIP, so pretty solid overall when he was up at the big league level, but when you break it down, right, the Red Sox could use left-handed help, for sure, right? In the bullpen, I've been trying to make this video for a while. I just haven't gotten around to it. The bullpen's left-handed problem is a big one. He was out of options. He had one more. He had one more option. So when you're looking at it, right, it was either bring him up and keep him up or his DFA, essentially, right? When you look at the options for the left-handed bullpen arms, you've got Brandon Walter, who's been pretty good for you out of the bullpen. He's a guy who can eat innings. And you've got Chris Murphy, who's been fantastic. Chris Murphy has been absolutely fantastic for the Red Sox. All right, starting the game on a little flyout. We like that. So far, in 5 games, Chris Murphy has a 1.98 ERA in 13.5 innings, which is really impressive. A 3.22 FIP, so He's giving there is a little bit of traffic there going on, but at the same time too, that's still a pretty decent fit. And then a 2.39 ERA plus, which is obviously fantastic. So at the end of the day, I think when you're looking at what the Red Sox needed in the bullpen, the youth, the Chris Murphy, the Brandon Walter is a really good sign because it means that these guys could be bullpen arms and key figures in this bullpen in the future. So, I mean, if we're looking at the moves all around today, it was nothing super massive, but it was enough where, you know, a lot's going to change on this Red Sox team. And on top of that, too, we've got a lot. Mata's definitely not getting called up, Mike. Mata hasn't thrown a pitch since April. And Drohan was he started his last game, but he was out a couple of games ago. He's not going to be coming up anytime soon. Sheriff is 33 years old. That's another part of it too, Mike. Yeah, or Eric. Yeah, it's you know, he's a bit of a journeyman, and could he have helped this year's bullpen? Probably, but if you're getting what you're getting from Chris Murphy and Brandon Walter's really settling into a sort of long relief type role too as a left-handed option, you take those two guys, you say, okay, these two guys can also help this team this year, and they could really help this team over the next couple of years as well. So again, I think it just came down to the fact that he didn't have a ton of options left. I literally think he just had one option left, and on top of that too, you were getting production from both Murphy and Walter. So overall, again, not moves that are going to be like, holy crap, the Red Sox are back. You know what I mean? But they're moves that are going to, I think, help this team all around. Obviously, Caleb Ward not being on it is going to help this team, right? It's going to help this team all together. So, you know, overall, I don't hate any of the moves. What's more interesting to me is the injury updates, which we'll get into a second. Let's answer some questions first here. Sheriff DFA makes sense if Scooball, Kirby, or Cease acquired soon. No, I don't think this DFA is for one of those draftable players. The upcoming draft who can make an impact on this year's team. No. No. No, they didn't DFA Caleb Ward. They put him on the IL. What do you think is gonna happen with Blyer? He's close. I would say probably Justin Garza DFA. That dude is just not good right now. I would say Justin Garza DFA. Because again, right, you have options with Walter. You have options with Murphy. But at the same time, too, these guys are net positives on your team right now. You don't want to get rid of those guys. So I would guess Justin Garza DFA. Do you think Yoshida was snubbed as an all-star? Kind of. I think he could have made it, but I think there's legit reasons why he didn't. I think Alex Verdugo, nice inning, Bernardino. Oh my God. I think there were legitimate reasons why he didn't make it. Mike, that's an interesting thought. So what I was talking about with the injury updates, we got a lot of injury updates today, chat. Do you guys want a full video breakdown, or you want me to do it in this? Such as what? I think the only offensively, you're right, JN. Offensively, he deserves to be in the All-Star game, but right, if you're especially like fan voting is one thing, right? It's the guys who selected are completely different, and a lot of what they look at, from what I understand, is overall performance, right? And if we take a look at Massa, who I love, by the way, I don't want to sit here and say he doesn't deserve the All-Star game, because he certainly does. But compared to some of the other people that are in the All-Star game, a lot of it has to do with his defensive WAR, which is at -1 right now, and it's really dragging down his total WAR. It's really dragging it down. So when you're looking at like Luis Robert made it, right? So if we compare the two of those, right? Robert has a higher OPS plus because he's got a higher slug, and his WAR is his WAR is a 4.1 versus Massa's 1.3, and it's because of his defense, right? And honestly, as Red Sox fans, as people who watch him every single day we watch him, right? we're like, like I've never throughout the season been like, oh my God, that ball's hit to Masataka Yoshida. What's going to happen? So that's sort of my thought process on here as to why Masa didn't make it. Oh, I didn't know that versatility. Interesting. What's up, Matrix? What are my thoughts on Jakes? He's been fine. I like his story. But, I mean, overall, he's been all right. He had a tough outing in this series. Yeah, he's a 6.23 ERA, and it's because of his Miami outing where he let up 5 runs. Thanks, Josh. And then his Texas outing where he let up 2 earned. But yeah, I think overall, right, Jakes has been fine. Did I see the BR trade predictions, Red Sox trade? They said Paxton for Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison's an interesting prospect, but do I give him up for Verdugo? See what he's doing this year in the minors. He's struggling a bit in AAA. Whips at 1.562. I mean, he's been good for most of his minor league career. I think he'll figure it out at AAA. It'd be interesting. Mason Black's the other one. Get the starting pitcher depth in here. I like Mason Black a little bit. Yeah, it'd be interesting. What would be a pitcher you could get? What would be a pitcher you'd want to get in the trade deadline? What's up, Logan? I don't really know if there's a specific pitcher, to be honest with you. I mean, if I had it my way, I'd be going after young top of the rotation type talent. That's what I'd be going after. It's gonna be a really interesting deadline because if you can put something together against the Oakland Athletics and you can, even winning 2 out of 3 here, coming out of the break, playing Chicago and then playing Oakland again. Justin Turner is so insanely reliable. So insanely reliable. What's up? What's up, Mr. Bob Dylan? King, we were actually just talking about that. His defense metrically is not good, but as just like a baseball fan who's watching every single game, there hasn't really been a game where I've been like, oh man, like this ball's hit to Masataka Yoshida. What's he gonna do? It's never really been like that. What's up, Aid? Thoughts on trading Adam Duvall for an okay starter? I think if we're going to trade Duvall, it's going to have to be in a package. He has not been good lately, but he does have the history of being a real help to a competitive team at the deadline. So, I don't know. Yeah, we probably won't get Cease, right? We probably won't get Cease. But I'm talking like if the Red Sox want to make here's my thought process for the deadline, right? If you're where you are now, you're 3 games back, right? You're probably not buying, right? You're probably doing exactly what you did last year, a little bit of selling, a little bit of buying, seeing what you get you. And I know fans hate it, but that's probably what you're doing. Yoshida can't play first base. So you're probably doing a little bit of both. If I'm the Red Sox, right, I'm looking at what can we do to make 2024 a legitimate competitive team. And to me, that's a young, controllable, top-level starting pitcher. Or it's a starting pitcher that keeps you under the deadline that you have a fat chance to extend. That's sort of where I'm at if we're talking about the deadline. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think, if anything, in terms of starting pitching, we'll get like a Like Michael Lorenzen, Sammy James on Twitter keeps pushing Michael Lorenzen hard, and it would kind of make sense. Duvall for more prospects. Yeah, if anyone's getting traded, I could see Duvall just because of what Jarren Duran's been doing so far this year. Right, I think that's sort of why I could see Duvall getting traded, of all people. No, I understand he can play. I'm sure he could play other spots, JN, but he's still adjusting to Major League. He's played outfield most of his official career, right? It'd be kind of ridiculous to move him to first base out of nowhere, especially when you have Casas there already. Who gets traded in order this deadline? I honestly don't know, because again, if you end up the schedule coming out of the All-Star break is going to be just as important as this schedule going into the All-Star break. Right, so you've got coming out of the All-Star break, you've got these 3 games against Oakland, then you play the Cubs, Oakland, and then the Mets. Right, which is like, okay, that's a pretty decent. That's what, 2-ish total weeks of teams that you could beat, and you're 3 games out of a wild card spot right now. So I don't know. Jansen got to go? Absolutely. Why? No. Yeah, it's a lot, Max. It's a lot. You're gonna have to overpay to get Cease. Honestly, I don't know, Prodigy. I wasn't really paying that much attention. Yeah, Martin and Jansen won't be traded. Definitely not. There's no reason to trade either of those guys. He wasn't very good during their stretch, though. He really cooled off. It's going to be, if they're going to sell anyone, it's going to be 1-year guys. It's going to be 1-year guys. It's not going to be, Kenley Jansen's in here for 3 years, and he's been fairly good for you this year. And by fairly good, I mean quite literally all-star level good, right? And I truly don't care what his ERA is. What I care about here are saves, right? He's 85.7% on saves. 87.5%. Or 85.7%. He only has 3 blown saves all year. I can see Pablo Reyes getting moved to be interesting. One of those guys is going to have to get moved. I would guess you're probably looking at, to be honest with you, the odd man out kind of looks like Kike, right? Giants are pretty good. Yeah, the finale of this season is going to be tough, for sure, Pac-Man. Yeah, Logan, they did. They did. How about the crowd showing up recently? Pretty cool. I like it a lot. I was there last night. It was a really fun energy. Paxton or Crawford? No. I don't think they sell any controllable arms because they need them, quite frankly, right now, right? I don't see either of them being traded. Unless it's a big trade, and I don't think the Red Sox are going to do a big trade. I was with Wally last night. He was pretty good. I mean, you could tell he wasn't on his game, really. Facing the Dodgers late in the season is going to be rough. Facing the Astros for sure. But then you get like, to end the season, you get the White Sox, which is, I mean, I would say fine, right? But to end the season in September, you go Toronto, or here, the last month, right? You start with Kansas City, perfect, right? Then you get Tampa Bay, Baltimore, New York Yankees, Toronto, Texas. You get a little break with Chicago. Then you get 2 with Tampa Bay and 4 with Baltimore. That's a scary end to a season. That is a scary end to a season. JJ Bleday. He was a top prospect at one point. Pavetta's been really good out of the bullpen. Pavetta's been really good out of the bullpen. What's up, Clip? Enjoy it. Yeah, Pavetta's been quietly very good out of the bullpen. How painful is it going to be? I think it's about 50-50 right now if Paxton actually gets traded. They have been good against the Yankees, yes, but we haven't played them yet with Aaron Judge. Or did we? I think we did play him when they had Aaron Judge. That first series in the Bronx. No. That was right after he got, yeah. So, Logan, I wouldn't be shocked. How are we again? We may have, yeah, I think we're dead even. You going to the game tomorrow, Peter? Enjoy. It's a good time. Okay. Bernardino, can we figure this out here? Yeah, so we've been decent against the AL East outside of Tampa Bay. We're what? I think we're like Yankees were 1-5. Yeah, 1-5 against Toronto. We're 7-0. So we're 12-1 against New York and Toronto. Against the Blue Jays, we're 3-3, I believe, and then against Tampa, we're 1-3, 1-6. I don't think it'll be 27 home runs, King. No. That is awesome, Logan. I hope you enjoy it. Think we should be buyers or sellers? I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. It really does. I mean, it depends on this next 3 weeks, right? Because if you do bad, you're 5-6 games out of a wild card spot, and by then it's like, all right, sell away, right? But if you're 2.5, 1 game out, I mean, there's a legitimate possibility. We're playing the Athletics 6 times over the next 2 weeks. We're playing the Cubs in that mix as well. There's a very legitimate chance that this Red Sox team is in a playoff position after those 3 weeks, and that's only 2 weeks away from the deadline. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. And it gets even more interesting when you're talking about players coming back too. Are we playing against Stroman when we play the Cubs? I don't know. It's too far out. It's too far out. Yeah, that was a different team, though, Pac-Man. That's not like they're playing the Cubs, we should sell. If they're, say, 3 games over 500, it's going to be hard to sell. Yeah. Yeah. There's a legitimate chance that coming out of the deadline, right, you could be 5-6 games up. I don't know. That's quite the prediction, Max. It's quite the prediction. Need another great piece. Great, I don't know. Consistent, yes. We need another consistent piece. That's what we need. Even if we get, again, even if they go for Bernardino, find the strike zone for the love of God. Even if we get, say, a 3-hole pitcher, then that makes it Bayo, Paxton, that pitcher, right? And then hopefully you get Whitlock or Houck back, and then you got Cutter in there. And now you got a 5-man rotation. right? So I don't know if you need fantastic, like all-star level piece to add to this team, but you need a consistent piece to add to this team for sure. Whatever, we'll take that. Oh yeah, injury updates. Thank you, Prodigy. Schreiber is starting his rehab assignment tonight, which I think is a really underrated piece of this Red Sox team that's been missing. Getting Schreiber back into this bullpen and hopefully back to what he was before he went down would be absolutely massive for this Red Sox bullpen. Then you've got Tanner Houck, who's going to start his rehab assignment on the 11th of July, so right after the All-Star break, along with Trevor Story, who's starting his rehab assignment right after the All-Star break. Chris Sale has started throwing again, and Whitlock, it doesn't seem to be anything super serious. It's a bone bruise, so basically all you have to do is let that rest up. Right? That's basically all you have to do. So that's sort of, I mean, when you're talking about what's coming for the Red Sox and how do they, get over the second half hump and all that stuff, you're getting 3, possibly 4 pitchers within, or 3-4 players back at least by the end of August. I don't know. It'll be, it's just all going to be super interesting. Because then it's like, if you're the front office, okay, what do we get? Do we need a starting pitcher? Well, you've got Houck, Whitlock, and Sale all coming back. You've been able to tread water. Do we need a middle infielder? Well, you got Trevor Story, who at the bare minimum is going to give you elite defense at shortstop. And then, what do you need? Bullpen help? Well, you're getting Schreiber back, right? So if I'm the Red Sox, it's a really it's a tricky trade deadline. Yeah, and Dinelson Lamet's back in Worcester. We'll see how he does over the next couple of weeks. When do you think Story comes back, and who is out once he joins the team? I think he'll be back by the end of July. I'd say like towards the very end of July. As for who goes, I would guess Pablo Reyes. That'd be my guess, would be Pablo Reyes. Maybe they find a way to trade him. But it could very well be Kike. The problem is Pablo Reyes is worth more. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion, versatility. It's a tough one, right? Because you invested so much in him, but if you can't stay healthy, then it's like, well, what do you do? Kind of want Lance Lynn. Yeah, Lance Lynn's been good. I mean, his ERA is whatever, but Lance Lynn's been good. Can I see it a Royal trade? I wouldn't say completely no, but I don't think it's as likely as, say, a Reyes or even possibly a Chang trade. So I would say like 70% no. Yeah, I know, Pac-Man. Who was I just about to look up? Oh, Lance Lynn. I also want to see what deal he's on. Lance Lynn will be too much. It'll put you over the luxury tax. Can't get him. He's allowed the most home runs in baseball this year, as well as the most earned runs in baseball this year. And the most hits. Yeah, but his FIP's a 482, and he has 11.1 K per 9. So, I mean, there's stuff there. Giolito's a legitimate option. Yeah, 72 ERA plus isn't great. Yeah, Mikey Romero's officially back. He went 2 for 4 in his first outing of the year. Pretty good. Yeah, versatility. It's going to be difficult. Because either way, you're going to be pissing people off. You buy, people are going to be like, why are you buying for a team that's not worth it? If you sell, they're going to be like, what are you doing? We're in contention, right? Especially if they could figure out the next couple of games and they can get a little winning streak going. Yeah, it'll be interesting. A baby Doogie going first to third. We like that. Want to see Rafael in September? Probably not going to see him in September. There's no reason to this year. It's going to be interesting what they do with Rafaela. Yeah, York's another guy it'll be interesting to see what they do with. Because he is kind of log jammed. Sell, it's not always. See, this is what I'm saying. Robbie's on one side, people are on the other, right? I think what you're going to get is exactly what you got last year. And everyone's going to be upset. But even if you're, everyone say hi to my dad. Even if you're a buyer and a seller, right? You're still making, you're making everybody mad if you're a buyer or a seller, right? Because there's half the fans that want you to buy, there's half the fans that want you to sell. And doing both feels like it's going to appease both, but either one's going to be like, what'd you do? Why'd you do that? You know? Oh, yeah, for sure, versatility. Because like I just went over, right? If you're in the mode of buying, it's like, okay, well, we need a starting pitcher. Well, it depends on how long Tanner Houck's going to be out, how long Garrett Whitlock's going to be out, how long Chris Sale's going to be out, right? Oh, we need a middle infielder to stabilize the middle infield. Well, you got Trevor Story coming back in 3 weeks. John Schreiber, right? We need a bullpen arm. We do need a bullpen arm, but John Schreiber's starting his rehab. You got Joely coming back. You got Blyer coming back. And I know those guys aren't exactly... outside of Schreiber, weren't exactly lighting the world on fire, but they do have the potential to be fairly good. And if you're talking about the Red Sox going out and getting a bullpen arm, it's not going to be an Aroldis Chapman. It's not going to be Michael King. It's not going to be someone out of the Cardinals bullpen, right? It's going to be a guy who looks a lot like Blyer, a lot like Joely. Was a full trade to bring Tommy Pham. I think it was cash and a player to be named later. Core still a manager in 24? He better be. Life of a 500 team. Yeah. Who's he blocked by? Trevor Story. What's the catcher's prospect look like? Not really, Nick. We got an interesting prospect in Nathan Hickey, but he's not a very good defensive catcher. He's a pretty good offensive catcher, but not very good defensively yet. They have decent ones, Max. Nothing crazy. He is a shortstop, yeah, but they're not gonna block Marcelo Meyer for Nick York. Not that he hasn't started his rehab assignment yet, King. He's just been doing live BP against John Schreiber. Looked pretty good. Line drive up the middle. Maybe the draft. Yeah, there have been a couple. In my draft video, I went over it. There are a couple of prospects in the draft that the Red Sox could possibly get, but they'd have to fall to number 14. So yeah, it's so interesting the state of the Red Sox right now. It really is. So interesting. They're not going to do that back, man. Yes, Tristan Casas touches the field for sure. They will for sure, yes. Tristan Casas will touch the field, yeah. That Teal kid, yeah. There are a lot of really great options in this year's draft. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. What's that? It's a couple days away. Yeah, but Price's contract was because he wasn't doing well. Why would they get rid of Trevor Story? There's no reason to. No reason to. Like legitimately speaking, if you're going to get rid of Trevor Story just because you have the potential of Nick York and Marcelo Meyer, you're putting yourself back a year and a half. And I know what you're thinking, right? Oh, Corbin, they're both top 100 prospects. Neither of them are guaranteed to work out. Neither of them. Neither of those guys are guaranteed to work out. And that's my problem. They're not going to move Rafi to DH either. No. Not going to move Rafi to DH either. Because, again, there's no reason to. Right, like shuffling around the guys who have proven themselves as big league legitimate talent, like Trevor Story, like Rafael Devers, to make room for a guy who, and again, really, really great prospects, really, really positive. I think Marcelo Meyer is going to be a great major league player, but there's a chance he's not. There's a chance that Nick York can't figure it out the big leagues. Yeah, there are definitely a couple players blocked right now. Definitely a couple players blocked. We can pass the Yankees for sure, Shooter. And I actually think we could pass the Blue Jays too. Yeah, Maxwell. That's the thing, right? You find a place for him. If he does well, then great. You figure out how to make room for him. It's a good problem to have. High school hasn't been all that great. Yeah, but then you look at, 16-year-old Rafael Devers signed, 16-year-old Xander Bogaerts signed. So I don't know. There's been ups and downs here. Appreciate it, Ricky. Thank you so much for stopping by, man. Thank you. Terrified of Red Sox? Well, you and the Yankees, and that's about it. Yeah, the Mets, we were talking about this earlier, Shooter. There's a legitimate possibility that a week after the MLB All-Star game, the Red Sox are in a spot. They're in a legitimate playoff spot. Maybe by like a game or two. Yeah, good luck to you, Ricky. Good luck to the Jays, man. Hoping Manoah figures his way back. I got one of my better friends is a Jays fan, and we went to see Manoah in Double-A in New Hampshire, and he looked really good. How are you guys so ahead of me? You guys are a full batter ahead of me. I just saw the Connor Wong strikeout. I'm going to restart this. Something happened. I hope Shooter. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think it'll be given a couple of chances here. I miss the entire at bat, but let's go Yu Chang. He's back and better than ever, baby. I'm gonna watch the replay. Look at Yu Chang doing his thing, huh? Look at Yu Chang doing his thing. I'm a big Yu Chang fan. Need to listen to the radio. My radio is behind too, man. I can't figure it out. I'm either really ahead of you guys or I'm really behind you guys. So hopefully I'm caught up. I'm at Jarren Duran right now. Bro's batting 1,000. True. Yeah, Nick, basically. You guys remember when they went really hot in like the end of April? At the end of April? That was when Yu Chang was playing shortstop. I think what he brings defensively to this team is an entirely different beast. He's really, really good. And Jarren Duran is really, really good. Jarren Duran is so impressive. That was a Masataka Yoshida swing. You're wrong about Duran. A lot of people were wrong about Duran. I wasn't super high on Duran either, so... That was a Masataka Yoshida hit if I've ever seen one. But we'll take it. We have 4? Yeah, we do. That's sort of, I think that might be our best, like, overall position. Mike's hard. Living dangerously tonight, Tupac. Robbie, yes, you were a full believer. Maybe shooter, maybe, but he's been so good. It would be pretty shocking to me if they moved Duran. Jackson Lin from Tulane University. We'll look into him. I know. I'm sorry, chat. Wednesday was a tough because I was given tickets from one of my good friends at the Woo Sox to the game on Tuesday for the 4th of July, and I didn't get home until I didn't go to sleep until 1:30. So I was beat the next day. So I moved it. And I had to get some packing done too because we're moving next weekend, so. Has a team ever had 3 lefties in the outfield? It's a good question. Jacoby Ellsbury, was he a switch hitter? He was a lefty, right? Jacoby Ellsbury was a lefty. I'm trying to think, because there was a time when Manny Manny was right-handed. Yeah, because it was Manny, Damon, Trot, and Trot was a lefty. Damon was a lefty. Where am I moving? I'm moving close to the city. Should not ballpark stream? I don't think I can legally do that. Oh, no, don't spoil it, chat. I'm like a full pitch and a half behind you guys. Does he swing on 3-0? He does swing on 3-0, and he bloops it. Justin Turner. I'm telling you guys, Justin Turner's been the most in part of this offense this year. Masataka Yoshida's been great. Doogie's been fantastic. But what Justin Turner's been able to do overall has been fantastic. Good idea to stream versus Oakland. Yeah, I thought about that. Versatility. I was just trying to go through it in my head. Doug Mirabelli? I don't know. All right, chat. We got my friend the Mole in here tonight. No way, Rafi. It's a home run, right? Oh, please. Okay. I was like, come on. There's no way. I gotta quickly tweet this out. Duh. I'm tweeting out the Yu Chang highlight. Yeah, Justin Turner is such a pro. I've seen my tweets. That's awesome. What's up, Milan? Lance Lynch from Cambridge. Interesting. I think Doug Mirabelli was a right-handed hitter. I'm doing all right, Milan. It's good. We're good. We're back. 5-0. Man, I am behind on this. I can't keep up. Devers RBI what? Don't spoil it. Devers RBI single. No, it's an RBI ground out. Okay. This is a good idea, chat. Let's always stream against the Oakland Athletics. Bellinger destroyed him. That's awesome. Is that a fielder's choice? Yes, it is. I still think it's an RBI, though. I believe it's still an RBI. Could be wrong. Next week live stream, I might try to stream the All-Star game, but again, we're moving next weekend, so I'm gonna be this room on me for a couple of days. Oh crap! 1 second, chat. Come in.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a stupid rule, Maxwell. I think it's because it's technically 2 plays. Meet up before a game? I don't know, chat. I don't know if I have enough. I don't know if enough of you guys live in the Boston area. Where's my cat at? Oh, my cat's in timeout. It would be great to grab a beer. I would love to do that, but I just don't know how many, I would hate to, My biggest fear is that it would be like my biggest fear is that I'd contact like a bar and say, hey, look, like I'm doing a meetup, you know what I mean? And show up and there's like 5 people there, you know. What's up, Uncle H? Oh, my cat? Yeah, my cat's in timeout right now. She threw up all over my chair. So I'm not even using my chair. I'm using this little dinky one that we have in our basement. You're going to do a meetup, Meek? It's a nice early lead for the Sox, huh? A nice early lead. This guy who's pitching right now is one of the worst pitchers in baseball. It's actually pretty impressive how bad he is. Do the meetup. Is Money Mike here? Of course, Mr. Mike's here. 5 people better than none? Yeah, true. Jessica, you have to come. Yeah, the fact that the Yankees lost this team is pretty wild. Although I'm going to say that, and then they're going to lose the next 2 games. So. God, I got a cat hair in my eye. But yeah, Misty threw up all over my chair. That's my cat, for those of you who are wondering. All over my chair. You'll go, Prodigy? Are you in the area? You're a Miami Heat fan, so you're from Florida? And at the bar? That'd be kind of interesting. I would need to... That's a little bit bigger. You'll go? Well, maybe we'll do one next season. Maybe we'll do one at the end of the year. My cat needs to come. My cat would have a heart attack if I brought her in a bar. She doesn't like people. Radio. 2 months from Bucky. Thanks for coming back, Bucky. It's just a celebration for you being here, my friend. Thank you. I have just two weird, it's a personal thing, right? I have 2 weird problems with meetups. Oh, I didn't know that, Prodigy. I always thought you were just a Miami Heat fan. It's a weird personal thing where I'm like, why are people going to take the time? And this sounds so stupid, I know. But why are people going to take the time to come out and talk to me, right? And I know that sounds stupid, but it's just a personal thing. The other thing is someone mentioned a live stream from a bar. I'd have to get permission to do like a whole setup in there. And I just don't think I have the power to do that yet. I don't think I have the power to do that yet. Used to do NBA mixtapes. That's pretty cool. Rafael Devers, 69 RBIs this year. Nice. Rally Cat, they're the best. Fly 6 hours to Boston. See, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please do not do that. This is what I'm talking about. I would feel like an absolute piece of crap. Firm handshake, I like it. I'm in. Be a nice vacation. If you guys haven't been to Boston yet this year, go. All the new renovations they did at Fenway, fantastic. Truly Deck is awesome. The MGM Music Hall, for those of you who live in the area, it is a fantastic place to go watch music. It really is. It is awesome. I feel bad for the House of Blues. Yeah, Boston right now is great. Oops. YouTube's yelling at me. You were there, Versatility. Tristan Costas convinced you? Hey, Tristan Costas needs it. He needs the support. Bell and Hand, a great bar. I'd probably want to do one really close to Fenway. God, this cat hair in my eye, Chad, is driving me insane. I think I got it. It was just on my nose, I think. Haven't been there yet? Gotta put it on your bucket list, Mike. Gotta put it on your bucket list. I promise. It's well worth it. If I really did a meetup, you guys would know about it. I'd put it in video at the beginning of videos. I'd put it on my social media. It would be everywhere. Yeah, casket flagging would be the one that comes to mind. But again, I don't think anyone. It's a thing with me, right? It's a thing with me where I'm like, why would anyone come to the casket flagging to meet me? And I understand it's stupid. It's how I am. Oh God, I hated that interview, Meek. Haven't been to Fenway since 2009. Oh man, it's completely different now. Used to go to every summer, but I haven't been since the pandemic. You should. A lot of stuff's opening up now. I did the Freedom Trail once. I like history. I like the history in Boston a lot. Oh man, Nick Pavetta looks good. Chat. Nick Pavetta looks really good. God, I feel off. I feel off not being in my chair, but it smells terrible. I feel off. And Canada, for that matter, that's pretty impressive. I love the city. Encore Casino. All right, everyone's got to put $500 on the Red Sox money line. That is a fantastic game to be at, Steady, because he didn't do that very often. Do the meetup on the deck where the prom people go. Are we going to watch Pavetta yell while walking the dugout today? I hope so. I hope we get that kind. I mean, it is the A's, right? So how fired up can you actually be? Bottom three? Prodigy. Let me get there on my own. Prodigy, I feel like you're always just either at the game or really, really close to the game. Beautiful. What's up, Ethan? Gonna get fired up striking out minor leaguers. Basically, yeah. Why is Pavetta's pitch going up as a sweeper? No, it's just sort of a breaking ball. I really, if I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, I still don't really know the difference between a slider and a sweeper. I don't really know it all that much. Yeah, most of them are quadruple A players. Sweeper's slower with more horizontal movement. So, yeah, it's just a breaking ball. Woo Sox versus A's, who wins? Probably the A's, if I'm being honest with you. The Woo Sox right now, they're all right. They're all right. They have some decent prospects. That's a bit of a different story. Although, I'll tell you what. I told Ricky who came in here. Manoah absolutely just dismantled the Sea Dogs. Is it what a slurve used to be? Versatility? Because I know what a slurve is. But I don't know. Oh, crap. Foco's going to be so mad at me. Crap. Bobby Dahlbeck seems like an A. I don't know what you get from Bobby Dahlbeck being an A. What did I do? I was supposed to promote a bobblehead weekend. That's all right, not the end of the world. I've done every single one, so. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. It just launches. Friday. We're all right. Woo. Woo. They've got their all-star bobbleheads coming out, chat. They look really, really cool. They're really, really cool. No, these ones have always been here. You guys haven't noticed these? These are also FOCO if you want them. But these are the bobbleheads we'll be promoting this week. They're really, really cool. That looks nice. That looks really nice. And it's not a specific player, which I love too, because I don't know how much I would have been invested in a Kenley Jansen bobblehead, but this one looks really good. Yeah, it won't be till next year. Who are the biggest snubs for the Red Sox? I have a whole video on it, Ethan, but I will tell you my top three. It's Devers, Massa, it's Doogie. Do they have a Doogie bobblehead? I don't think so yet. It's going to cost a lot. Because I know, what's his name? Henry Owens, right? Owen Henry, something like that. Turner's a tough one because... am I going to do a Doogie headband night? Nah. Doogie headband's already packed away. Maybe we'll do one when I move. Doogie headband's packed away, though. Henry Davis, that's it. It was Henry Owens was a Red Sox player. Yep, I got him confused. Yeah, I saw that. I just saw the Fogo hat. We need a home run today? We just need a win today. I don't care about home runs. I care about wins. You guys want to say hi to my cat? She wants to come in. Never been a cat guy. Neither was I until I got our cat, and she's awesome. Ah, Tristan Costas just roped that baseball. That's unfortunate. She's coming, don't worry. Come on. Come here. Come here. All right. I'll pick you up. Yeah. Everyone say hello. Oh, you're cold. This is my cat. She always tries to be in here, but she also always climbs over my jerseys. So, can't be in here. Misty. 1 second. Yeah, I know. You can't be in here. No, you can't be in here. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Rally cat? Yes, sir. Yeah, Costas has gotten a little bit unlucky. It's just part of the game, right? You just got to stay with it. I've noticed recently when Costas has 2 strikes, he doesn't take a step anymore. He just loads up and swings similar to Bryce Harper. Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the improvements. Does Foco sponsor the cat? Oh, yeah. Turner, by far and away our most consistent player, yes. What got me into baseball? I think I was just born into it. My mom's a lifelong Red Sox fan, and so I didn't really have a choice. Trey Duvall. You know, Eric, out of all of the sort of 1-year rental contracts right now as to where the Red Sox are at currently, Duvall, in my opinion, makes the most sense to trade because of what Jarren Duran's been doing. So I would say of all our 1-year deals, Duvall does make the most sense right now. I'm not trading James Paxton right now. I know he'd probably bring you the biggest package back, but I mean, for what you're paying, right? It's not the easy choice, Chance. It's really not. Angels, yeah. And one thing with Duvall, too, is like, yeah, he hasn't been performing all that well lately. But what he's done historically after being traded to a competitive team would make him, would definitely make him a viable option. We aren't contending. Wrong. We're contending right now. Chance, based on our schedule, there's a good chance that over the next 9 games, we're in a playoff spot. Reyes is going to need a roster spot. Arroyo DFA? I don't think so. I don't think it's Arroyo DFA. No, I like Arroyo's ceiling. If we're talking about between Kike, Kike, Arroyo, and Reyes, I'm probably like odd man out. In my opinion, is Kike. Not going to DFA Hamilton. Probably not. Maybe trade Hamilton. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It depends on when Pablo Reyes is ready, too. Right? They said he still needs a couple of games. He's playing at least this weekend. No, I don't think he did, King. I don't think he did. I think it's got overblown a little bit, right? Rob Manfred came out. Right, and he said it wasn't PEDs, or whoever was the commissioner at the time. I think it was Manfred still, right? Came out at the time and was like, no, it wasn't PEDs that he got tested for. They tested for like 400 different substances. Some of them weren't even PEDs, right? And then on top of that, over the next, 10 years that he played, he didn't test negative, or didn't test positive once. I don't think so. I'm burying you, Mike. I'm burying you. I have not yet, Logan. Don't spoil it for me. Robert Poisson. I honestly don't know, Lissandro. Yeah, I know he's an ace prospect. I know he's fast. I don't know how to spell his last name, though. Yeah, I don't know how to spell his last name well enough. God, Nick Pivetta looks good right now. I know it's the A's. I don't care. Nick Pivetta looks good. Right, like I think trading Paxton would make sense if this team was 5-6 games out of a wild card spot, right? No, I did not, Spencer. That is wild. What? Yeah, Pivetta is in the exact role he should be. I totally agree. Blake Mitchell look good. Blake Mitchell does look good. The only thing about Paxton is the guy's on the last year of his deal and he's old and he could help someone this year. Yes. Like I said, he is by far and away our most valuable asset right now, which is fine, right? If the Red Sox decide to sell, it will be James Paxton, right? It will be James Paxton. But it's a matter of whether or not they're going to sell that hard. It's a matter of whether or not they're going to sell. So it's like, right now you're 3 games out. You're playing the A's, the Cubs, and the A's. And then you play, let me see, and then you play the Mets, you play the Braves. They play the Mets, the Braves, and the Giants before the trade deadline. And you play one game against Seattle before the trade deadline. There's a legitimate chance that at the trade deadline, you are one, maybe 1.5 games out of a wild card spot. There's a legitimate chance. It's not like I'm not being optimistic, and I'm not being overly positive. I'm not being a fanboy, right? I'm being very realistic here when I say, what'd I miss? Mr. Mad, $10. Great live as always. Here's a few bucks to buy treats for Rally Cat. I appreciate you, Mr. Mad. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we get some claps to the chat for Mr. Mad, please? No one should believe that they could win a playoff game, so what's the point? The point is that you don't have anything to lose. Right? You really don't have anything to lose. You're not over the luxury tax. You aren't starved of prospects. Right? So you're not desperate for prospects. You're not desperate to get under the luxury tax. So you might as well just run it out. Jackson Lynn. Yeah, I'll check out Jackson Lynn. Thank you so much again, Mr. Mad. Appreciate you. I will definitely make sure to get Missy some treats. But again, it's not like chance. It would be a different story if you were the Toronto Blue Jays and you had this season, right? Because the Toronto Blue Jays right now have one of the worst farm systems in baseball. They don't have prospects basically anywhere in their system, right? You have a smaller window than a lot of teams because you got Bichette running out, you've got Vladimir Guerrero running out, Manoah, whatever, right? Gosman's running out, Chapman's a free agent at the end of the year. That would be a different story, right? If you were the Jays, if you were the Yankees in this position, it's a different story, right? But because the Red Sox have the farm system right now where you're going to start connecting the pipeline to the major leagues, the prospects aren't like, it's not desperate need for prospects. Trading James Paxton would get you some nice prospects for sure, but it's not like you're desperate for those prospects. It's not like, hey, if we don't trade James Paxton now and go into a full rebuild, we're not going to be good for the next 10 years. No, Jack's not here. I don't think he was going to make it. Trade Sale? No. There's no reason to trade Sale. You'd have to eat his contract. So unless they want to go for a big name, big money a pitcher and then, try and, yeah. But even then, you'd have to eat Sale's contract, so it wouldn't matter. And you go over the luxury tax, so. Yeah, so, all right, so versatility. If you want to say they make up 7 games by the trade deadline on either the Yankees or the Blue Jays, that puts them 3 games into a wild card spot. 3-game advantage into a wild card spot. 4-game advantage into the wild card spot, so. And again, I think, I talked about it in my videos, right? Am I going to guarantee this team makes the playoffs? No, right? Absolutely not. But I think it's going to be, I think we're going to get fun, competitive baseball, hopefully, for the next couple of months. And that's really all I want, right? And again, trading James Paxton's fine, right? If you're going to go that route, full sell. I want Duvall gone. I want Paxton gone. I want these guys gone, but no, they'll go over next. They have the window now, versatility, to go over next. When's Sale expected to come back? August 4th? I think when we're talking about the necessity for them to trade James Paxton, it's just not there. It's not. Houck starting his rehab July 11th or July 12th, I guess, whenever the All-Star break ends. No, yeah, and Chance, I'm not saying I don't get your viewpoint. I do get your viewpoint. I'm just saying if we're judging it based off of what Chaim Bloom has done in the past, he doesn't really have a reason. Doesn't really have a reason to sell, right? Yeah, Atlas. If there's gonna be anyone traded at the deadline off of this Red Sox team, I think it will be Duvall. Yeah, Ethan. It looks really good over the next couple of weeks. It gets a little bit tricky in August, but over the last couple of weeks of July, it looks pretty good. Who's the Red Sox second baseman? I think they're all right with Arroyo. You got Arroyo, you got Chang, you got Reyes, you got Kike, who can all play second base. I would have liked, you were talking about it earlier, Eric, I would have liked them trading for legitimate middle infield. But what same mistake? There's no same mistake chance. It's not the same situation as last year. It's just not. But I think they're all right with that, Eric. And I think the reason they're okay with that is because they have so many middle infield prospects that are going to be coming up 2024, 2025 that, like, hey, if we get average to a little bit below league average production at second base, we'll eat it, right? It is versatility for sure. Yeah, but Chance, again, last year is an entirely different story, right? Yeah, it's a mistake. You didn't get anything for Evaldi, JD, and Bogarts, but it's a mistake because you were over the luxury tax. It was because you were over the luxury tax. It wasn't, I mean, yeah, the prospects would have been nice. And again, I completely understand the viewpoint, but why everyone was so mad at Chaim Bloom for not trading these guys and then losing them, or I guess the front office in general, losing them over the offseason was because you didn't get under the luxury tax, and now this year you got to reset the tax, which again, I understand that the luxury tax is a completely fictional thing, and it's made up by the owners, and we're the Red Sox. We shouldn't worry about the luxury tax. I get it, right? I get the argument. But that was why people were upset last year, right? This year, you were under the luxury tax, so you're not hurting yourself for future years by keeping these guys, right? Losing Evaldi was a big one, and not getting anything back. Losing Bogart's the big one, not getting anything back. Losing a guy like James Paxton isn't like losing one of those two players. Really anyone on a one-year deal on this team, it's not like losing any of those players we lost last year. Paul Blackburn, I honestly don't trust Paul Blackburn outside of Oakland. Shortstop's where we're in trouble. It's where we've been this year, yeah. What about if Bloom gets an offer he can't refuse for Paxton? Then yeah, I guess if you get blown away by a trade offer, then fine, right? But I think that's where you're at. That would be where I'm at if I was Chaim Bloom. They got 2 draft pick compensations. True, Eric. No, Johnny. There was no game there was no stream this Wednesday. You don't see the Rays finishing in first this season? I do. I think they'll be fine. They're going through a rough stretch right now, but they had such a big league, I think they hold on to it. Why keep Paxton if we aren't truly contending for deep playoffs? Because it's a what-if situation, right? People said in 21 we weren't truly contending for the playoffs. So it's like, and if you're Chaim Bloom, if you're the front office and you're like, look, we can get this team to a postseason, or this team could get themselves to a postseason. I mean, business-wise, right? You're not going to be like, we're only a couple games back. Let's get out of here. It's just not. It's not what we're going to do. No, I agree, Chance. I think he does have more value than JD did last year. Although JD did have a pretty decent amount of value. Definitely more than Evaldi, for sure. But again, my argument against it, and I really don't know which way it's going to go. To me, it's 50-50, right? I'm just sort of trying to play both, or be the sort of opposition here in this debate. I think if you're talking about, if you're the front office, if you're the ownership of this team, and you're like, hey, look, like we just, we crushed the A's, we crushed the Cubs, we won 2 out of 3 against the Mets, and all of a sudden we're 3 games into a wild card spot. It's like, if I'm front office, I'm like, hell no, I'm not trading. We've been torn apart for the last 24 months because we couldn't get into a wild card spot. This team is in a wild card spot. We're not doing that again. Yeah, Atlas, I completely agree. The problem is just staying healthy. Trading for Taj Bradley, yeah, I'd be more than fine for that, but that would cost a whole lot. Availability to chance, that's where I'm at, right? I think ability, yes. I think they can, especially because if they end up securing that 3rd wild card spot, your first round's against the Twins or against the Cleveland Guardians, right? Who did beat us, but you had Corey Kluber in there, yeah. So you play the Twins, and then you play either the Yankees or you play the Orioles, which gets a little bit, or whoever's wins between the 1st and 2nd wild card spots. And it's like, okay, or no, wait, we would play. So we'd play the Central, and the 2 wild card teams would play against each other, and then I guess we would go up against. I guess it would be Toronto or Tampa, right? It would be Tampa. But I mean, at the same time, too, anything can happen. So I just don't know. The thing for me though, Chance, is and you said it best, was availability, right? What is this roster going to look like if they do end up securing a spot and holding on to a spot in October? Is Chris Sale going to be healthy? Is he going to be good? Is he going to be what we saw this year? Is Paxton going to be healthy? Right? It really, to me, it's the rotation that's the big one. Give me Joe Kelly. The problem with getting a bullpen arm is you're getting Schreiber back. Yeah, Chance. That's what I just said, right? What are they going to look like when they come back? I mean, a lot rides on it, right? I think right now it's still a what if situation. I think by the end of August, once Sale's back, Houck's back, we got Whitlock back in some capacity, Story's back, Schreiber's back, right? Those sort of big 5 guys. Then it's like, okay, what does this team look like with them? And if that team is a legitimate, you're starting to beat these good teams. If you can put a fight up against the Texas Rangers like that, and you can continuously do that with your full lineup, then it's like, all right, let's play ball. And so for me, that's what I'm saying. Like if I am the front office right now, even being 3 games back, it's like, well, I mean, you're not losing. Like, you're losing out on not trading James Paxton. What do I think of the end of the year numbers for Story? That's a great question. I don't know. I would say sitting around right around 250. He's going to play what? August, September, 60 games-ish. I would say like 10 home runs. Right? Because that's what? A third of a season? Right? It's about a third of a season. Yeah, 10 home runs. If you're going to go for it, I say for one cheap, solid pen arm, we're talking like an aging reliever who's a free agent. Maybe, yeah, that's kind of where I would be looking. I would also sort of be looking at like relievers that could also be starters too. That's what I'd be looking at. Do I think they should have DFA'd Tapia? Yes. Yeah. Because look at what Jarren Duran's doing. Did Tapia ever get picked up? He did, right? He's on No, he's not in Colorado again. He's on the Brewers. $10 from Mr. Money Mike. The man, the myth, the legend. We had some claps in the chat for Mr. Money Mike. Trey Turner Duval and a low And low, a player to be named later for Randy Arozarena. I like the idea, Mike. It's going to cost a whole lot more than that to get Randy Arozarena. Who starts Sunday? It's a bullpen game, Mike. I've been doing the series previews day to day because it's just so crazy right now what the bullpen's going to look like or what the starter's going to look like. I have no idea. My guess is it would be opener and then Murphy for a pretty decent amount of it. But I'm not entirely sure yet, Eric. I'll let you know. But yeah, Mike, I love the idea. Randy Arozarena would cost way too much. It would certainly have to be. My guess is it would have to start. Marcelo Meyer would have to be in there, I think. He's on the Brewers now. Is he playing for the Brewers? I'm going to look up his stats. I haven't heard anything about Tapia since he left. Usually Red Sox Nation. Try Walter. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of, I don't love bullpen games, but I do like the idea of bringing Walter and Murphy out of the bullpen. I think that's where they're better suited. Yeah, true. That's the other thing, too. Yeah, trading with the Rays would be scary. Oh, man, I feel bad. He fell off after he left the Red Sox. 176, 293 on base percentage with a 176 isn't the worst thing in the world. 646 OPS. Not great. Not great, Tapia. Is he playing mostly in the minors? No, hasn't played anything with the minors. Short hair or 3 more chances. They just put him on the IL, so not yet. 5-1 on an error. Let's see what it looks like. I'm a couple pitchers behind. Oops. I will update this, though. Oops. Yeah, that is a tough break for Tapia. 2024 lineup ain't bad. 2024, you need to be a contender. A legitimate contender. Oof. Yeah, that is a rough error. That is a rough error, chap. Don't love that. That is a tough break for Pivetta, but at least it's not an earned run. 2025, 2026, they went back to back. I'm in. Just give me Shohei Ohtani. Or it's dating someone in the Heim Bloom family. Possibly. 2024 is solid. 2024 is solid. You're going to have Duran, Masataka. Yeah, it would, Atlas. I don't think he won't be ready by the beginning of 2024, no. 100%, Eric. 100%. You're going to need at least one big trade this offseason. I totally agree with that. There aren't really many free agents that I'd be like, hey, you guys need to target, right? I think if you're looking at it, like if Yamamoto does become available, I think he is a target that I say, hey, Red Sox, go and get his ass, right? Go and get him. Obviously Shohei, but whatever. Maybe Aaronola, but I don't love that idea either. Outside of that, Eric, you're 100% right. I think when we're talking about what the Red Sox need to do this offseason, it's trades. What do you think of getting Amir Garrett? I don't know. I guess I wouldn't hate it. Pitch in together? Yeah, I'll start a Shohei fund. Everyone donate $10 to me, and I'll start a Shohei fund. Yeah, he does make sense. He's had a little bit of a down year. I think he's injured right now. Let me see what Julio Urias. I do like the idea. My fear with Julio would be an overpay for Julio. .476 ERA in 12 starts. .491 FIP isn't much better. 93 ERA plus. Strikeouts per 9 are still there a little bit. Walking about the same. Giving up more home runs than he's ever given up in his life. Yeah, I'd be nervous. What I want is really like a full-blown top-of-the-line pitcher. Bottom 5? Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I forgot to update that. Lourdes Gurriel. Yeah, Urias is a free agent. That's what we're talking about. Doogie, Turner, Rafi, Story, Massa, Lourdes Gurriel. Duran, Casas, Wong, get Snell or Yoshi, or trade for Luzardo. Trading for Luzardo just got a lot more difficult. No, yeah, sorry. Someone mentioned Urias in in free agency. Yeah, trading for Luzardo just got so much more difficult. Sonny Gray wouldn't be a bad grab. Yeah, I think you just all I want, right, is just a really solid. Because I think Bayo could be a 1. At the very least, right? At the very least, we have 2 number 2s. We don't need an ace. We need dependability at the top of the lineup. Or top of the rotation. That's what we need, right? You've got Bayo. Sale is still on this team, but right at this point, I love Chris Sale. I love what he's done. I love who he is. You simply cannot depend on Chris Sale being a all-star, 30-start type pitcher anymore. So Giolito or Cease? Giolito is. Cease is not. Can I see McGuire getting traded? I would say 70% no, just because they really don't have a lot of catching depth. Yeah. Yeah, Nick. It would be yeah. The bid for Ohtani would be crazy. I'm interested to see if he actually gets like $600 million or if they give him a shorter deal, because my concern with Shohei, obviously the greatest player we've ever seen, is how much longer he can be both a starting pitcher and a hitter. And I'm not talking about in the next 2 or 3 years, right? I'm talking if you sign him to a 12-year deal, are the last 5 of those going to be, you're going to be paying him $60 million a year to be a DH or to be a middle rotation type pitcher? I don't know. Even Mike Trout said it himself on Mookie Betts' podcast. He was talking about it, and he said he thinks Ohtani can do it for 6 to 7 more years. 5 to 6 more years, sorry. But, I mean, who knows, right? There's no precedent for it. Just front load the contract? True. Pay him now, regret it later? I hope so. He's more like $50K a year, or $50 million a year, but even $50 million, right? If you give him $50 million over 12 years, what does that look like by year 9? $100%, Nick. I agree with that for sure. Yeah, he's a free agent this offseason, Wolf. I would say hitter, but again, there's no like, I can't be like, oh, in the past, here's what people are doing, Who do I personally think will end up with them? Dodgers obviously are clear front runners in my opinion, but the Giants could be a sneaky favorite. I think people keep saying the Mariners. I don't think the Mariners do that, but Angels, do they trade Ohtani? I don't know, dude, because if you told me that 3 days ago, I'd say no, but Mike Trout just broke the same bone Yu Chang did. Shohei's down for a little bit. You've got one more. There's one more big injury on the Angels as well. Oh, Rendon's back down again. So it's like, how, without Mike Trout, without Shohei for a little bit, they could dig themselves a real hole. It's hard, but yeah, I would say Dodgers. Yeah, yeah, I mean, a lot of players are saying that. A lot of players are saying it'll be a $600 million contract, but again, like I think yes, it's worth it for whatever team gets him because he is the greatest player we are ever going to see. But it's just it's so tough. Who versatility? How much longer till Justin Steele on the Cubs becomes a free agent? I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see. He's a free agent in 2028. Not a terrible. I mean, yeah, this would be a guy you'd go after, but man, this would cost a lot too. All right, I lost you for a second, chat. We're back. Oh, Ohtani? Yeah. Ceddanne Rafaela just homered for the Red Sox. Will we see him this year? I don't think we will. I don't think so. Yeah, Robbie. I think a lot of players want Ohtani to sign big money because everyone else is going to be pumped because that raises the price on everybody. Oops, top 6. Yeah, the Mets are definitely a player in Shohei. Imagine Judge and Ohtani in the same lineup. That's scary. Don't do that to me. Don't ever do that to me again. Yeah, I know. I mean, what's his face? Cohen said, "I dare someone to outbid me for Shohei Ohtani." We'll see. The big part of this too is what does Shohei want to do? Where does Shohei want to go? That's the contract he's getting, yeah. Playing a little dice. Yeah, Clip. That would be a power duo right there. So that team would be a favorite to win the World Series. Yeah, I don't know. No, he definitely does. Like, yeah, the Mets are going to go hard for him, but again, it's up to Shohei, and he's been pretty adamant. I don't want to go to the West Coast, or I don't want to go to the East Coast. Joely, question mark? What about Joely? Yeah, Robbie. That's essentially what I would do, too. He's not going to the Yankees. I refuse to acknowledge that. You don't want him back on this team. I would like to see Joely a little bit longer. I still don't trust Blyer, but will Joely be activated tomorrow? Probably. Yeah, Robbie, when you're that good, and again, like I've talked about a couple of times, if you aren't bidding on Shohei Ohtani, you're not a major league ball club, right? What's the lifestyle difference between 450 million and 550 million? Probably not too different. Wealth, right? Any news on Alberto Mondesi? I actually do. It's not good. He's still not doing baseball activities. He's really not doing many activities, to be honest with you. He's just running. Taxes, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's kind of what my line of thinking too, Atlas. Like, I still think there could be something there with Joely because of that he came back right off the injury. So, yeah, it kind of is, Eric. It's just where you're at. Um, it's really just where you're at with injuries. It really is. I would like to see. I would like to see them go out. I mean, Murphy and Walter have been good, right? But then you're talking about Garza, who I think should be DFA'd. Jakes is fine. I don't have a problem with him. Taylor. I really don't think we're gonna see him used all that much. So I think I think Garza is my big problem right now. Yeah, Pavetta. Pavetta's fantastic out of the bullpen. He's a 2.37 ERA, I think. Spencer, honestly, I don't know if I want him in the rotation. I like what he's doing. I like what he's doing in the bullpen. Let him stay in the bullpen because I don't mind this, right? If we can, keep this where it's at. Taylor's ERA career, yeah. I mean, it's only in 9 games too, so you got to remember that. But yeah, got to stretch Murphy. Yeah, I would love for them to. I would love for them to have a solid starter, but I just don't think Murphy's gonna be a viable option over 6.5 innings. I think he's better as a 4, 3.5, 3 2/3 innings type guy. Moving to Penn was a great choice for sure. Excited to see what Heim does this offseason because he actually didn't do that bad this last one. Yeah, I agree. I think overall, right? It was a pretty successful. It was a pretty successful offseason. Massa, Turner, Martin, Kenley are all big contributors to this team. Joely, again, he hasn't done very well, but I still think there might be, and this might just be the optimist in me saying there might be a little bit of something in there where he could be a viable reliever. I think really what he really at the moment, Joely and Kluber. Did I just lose you guys? Oh, there you go. Mata update. He keeps posting on his Instagram that he's gonna start throwing, but he hasn't yet. So who would I take number 1 this year? Oh, come on with this. What the hell? Who would I take number 1? I would take for the Red Sox. I would take Justin Steele. Is that his name? Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson. That's who I would take. What did we trade for Mondesi again? Just Josh Taylor. Big contributors were still in last place, so was it that good? I mean it's a fair point. Yeah, I know, Clip. I'm looking at it right now, watching it. I'm trying to get it. I might have to do that Wi-Fi thing again. It's a fair point to say the offseason wasn't a success because they're in last place. But, we talked about it before. When we're talking about what Chaim Bloom or the front office has brought to the team this year, a lot of it has been positive, right? A lot of it has been positive. And I think a lot of the reason why the Red Sox haven't done well this year is because of the fact that the team hasn't played well. I don't think it's because the moves weren't good enough. I think it's because the team has not played well enough. And yeah, Mario, that's what I was just about to say. I think the one thing that I think you can really criticize the front office for has been their starting pitching this offseason. Kluber, you took a chance. He looked like he was going to be fairly decent, but Waldrop could be interesting. He's sort of a high potential, low ceiling type guy. Yeah, Thomas White would be interesting, but I agree. I think taking Thomas White in the first round is a risk. Yeah, Wolf. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that too, Robbie. I don't know. I keep seeing stuff that they might go under slot to take someone in the second round too. Costas little base hit up the middle. Tired of the Costas hate? I'm a little bit tired of the Costas hate, yeah. Yeah, but I mean it's a lose-lose essentially, King. Nah, York's not ready to move up yet, Robbie. York was having a great month or a great season, and then he sort of tapered off a bit. So, yeah, the Red Sox have a ton of different ways this draft could go. Pac-Man, I mean, I've talked about this so much that like I'm getting kind of tired of explaining why teams take shortstops, right? It's not that when you played high school baseball, when you played little league baseball, whatever you played up to, where did the best player always play? Where did the best player on the team always play? I'll answer that for you. It was shortstop, right? The most athletic and the best player on every team played shortstop. That's the same exact hypothesis or the same exact scenario when you're in high school. Center and shortstop, yeah. That's the same exact thing when you get to high school, especially when you're in prep league high school. When you're in prep league high school, it's always the shortstops the most athletic. You could say center field too, right? So when you're drafting a shortstop, you're not drafting them because they want him to be the future shortstop of the Boston Red Sox. They're drafting him because they are the most athletic people in the draft. They have the highest ceiling and the highest floor as well. Right? You're talking about guys like Jacob deGrom was drafted as a shortstop. Mookie Betts was a middle infielder. Jaron Duran was a middle infielder, right? You're talking about guys that you can move around because of their athleticism and figure out best where they perform and what's best for your team. It's not that the Red Sox are loading up on shortstops because, hey, we don't know which one's going to work out. I don't think Costas will be elite, but I do think, I was never expecting Costas to be an MVP candidate, but I could see him, in the future making an All-Star team or two and being a really, really solid first baseman for the Red Sox. Yes. Yeah. So again, if you're looking at first round of the draft, you're either taking the most athletic position player, or what's up, John, or you're taking the best college pitcher. It's usually how it goes, right? And then in the later rounds, you get more specific. Oh, we need catching depth. We need catching depth. We need pitching depth. We need all that stuff. Hey, John. Yeah, I mean, that'd be perfect, Atlas. Just be an on-base machine, have a little bit of a higher OPS, and give me some home runs. Oh, yeah, I did know that, Prodigy. He's been great. Yes, Sedon was a shortstop when he was drafted. Yeah, Robbie, for sure. For sure. You could definitely get more specific when you're taking college bats, yes. Yeah, that argument can be made for sure, versatility, that they've been way too infield or just positional player heavy in the drafts. But it almost looks like they're trying to get pitchers out of the they're trying to get pitchers out of the international pool too, which could be an interesting strategy. Oops. Had dollar hot dogs? I don't think I was alive. Compared to last year, this team is far better. They're just inconsistent at time, a lot of injuries. Yeah, I agree. When was the last? How did Devers sign? It's different rules for the international player pool. Dollar dogs in the 70s, then yeah, it's been a while. Making a sale and story package, that is absolutely absurd. No. It's a 2-run homer. How are you guys so far ahead? Well, Nick did look good for a little bit. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please, please, please don't do this. Please, Red Sox, don't do this. Or it's on the IL. Should have been a solo shot. Yeah. All right. Maybe the offense gets something going, huh? Yeah, there are different rules for every sort of category in the draft. Or I'm sorry, in the how you sign them and how you get them on the team. There is the regular draft, which has its own set of rules. There's the international player pool, which has its own set of rules, and that's amateur. And then you have the professional international pool, which is mostly Japanese, where you have an entirely different set of rules. What, JC? So, a lot of different stuff. Oh, yeah, and you got the Rule 5 draft. You've got the... there are 2 different Rule 5 drafts. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Pavetta, please just get out of this. Kind of wish Shea Langoliers did well. I always thought he was going to be a good prospect. It's one of those guys, you know. His card in MLB The Show was pretty good a couple years ago. That prospect card he had was like a 94. I didn't know that. No, honestly, yeah. Yeah, I had no idea. I'm not good with drafts, Chad. I sometimes I just can't wrap my head around it. I don't know why. Yeah, most of them are rookies, I would say. I mean, they just don't have very good players. They didn't spend any money this year, so. Yeah, Michael Chavis did look good for a little bit there. That's crazy, Robbie. Yeah, there's so many rules. Maybe, Kenneth. Haven't heard of with the first pick. Yeah, I agree with that. I could be out of left field. Chat, I'm thinking of just doing like we did last year. We did I only covered like the first 4 picks. Would you be fine with that? Yeah, a lot of people have been saying they might go under slot, which I yeah. Because, I mean, there's what, 42 rounds? I'm not going to be able to cover everyone they drafted. I'll just cover the big ones. What are the Sox, 14? Correct. Played JUCO ball and watched our catcher decide between returning to college and taking $50K to go to the Brewers. What'd he do? Cover all? I mean, that video would be an hour and a half long. Do the highlights from the draft. People that are the most interesting, which means it'll probably come out the day after the All-Star game. That's going to be a tough one. $14th pick. A little more than $100K a year. It's pretty good. Man, that's crazy. I didn't know that, Robbie. I didn't know you played JUCO. Oh, 100K signing bonus. That's a different story. Did he ever make it? Yeah, that I was talking about that in my draft preview buy. I think we're gonna see a lot of pitchers taken in the last couple, like not the last couple of rounds, but like those sort of middle rounds, like the I would even say like the 7th round through like from the 7th round on, we're gonna see a lot of pitchers. What pick are the A's? Probably first. Oh no, that's not true. I'll do it right now. Is that how you spell it, or is it Lynns? See what he did here. What is he? He's an outfielder from Boston, Massachusetts. Cambridge. State University. He didn't play most of the year. He did 203 average. I'm pretty good. I'm all right. 203 average with I don't know, is he even in the draft? 23 RBIs, 9 homers, 6 doubles, 148 plate appearances. Yeah, the lottery did happen for this year's draft because I remember the Red Sox having like a 0.3% chance. Is this live? Go, Jaron. Go, Jaron. All right. Had a baby Duran. Electric. Now put him in. Ty Petey. We'll see. I mean, dude. Again, I'm not I am not the guy to go to for really in-depth draft advice. I would go to Jake T. O'Donnell on Twitter and Beyond the Monster. Jaron Rand runs like he's hurt. Big lefty free agent bat we signed. Lefty free Masataka Yoshida. Oh, Chad, I feel like my hairline's receding. It's freaking me out, but I think it's just the hat. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, it looks like he's in pain. You good? You good, Prodigy? I was hoping for a little inside the Parker. That'd be dope. Yeah, it is. It's just because he's so big. Yeah. Chat, you know what's gonna suck? I'm getting my wisdom teeth out August 4th. So I'm gonna try and get a couple of Red Sox creators to cover my channel for 2 or 3 days. Get some guest appearances in here. You know. Wisdom teeth. I know. I never got them out. I don't know why I didn't, but they're starting to get real bad, so I gotta take them out. But that means I won't be able to talk really for a couple of days. So I'm gonna try and get some. Who would you guys want to see if I'm doing like a channel takeover? Who would you guys want to see come do a video on the channel? I'll try to get them. Robbie, I can reach out to Robbie. Yeah, you guys want Robbie? I'll reach out to him. I'll ask him. I Talk Radio. I'll try. We're not really on the best of terms. You won't be able to talk for more than a couple of days. I think I'll be. I was talking to the dentist about it. Like, hey, look, like this is what I do. Blah blah blah. And he was saying, yeah, you should be able to like at least talk. What's up, Edgar? Be able to at least talk for after like 4 or 5 days. Yeah, I couldn't talk right for like 5 days. Yeah, that's kind of what they said. That's pretty impressive versatility. About a week? God, I hope not. God, I hope not. That'd be miserable. So I guess, yeah, all right. So a day later, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not getting knocked out. I'm just getting Novocaine. I don't like the idea of getting knocked out. Safe? At a baby, Duval. Run it out. Let's go. I am on time. I know. I figured it out. No one could understand you. Well, we'll see if you guys can understand me. All right, so I got Robbie Hyde on the list. Anyone else you guys want me to try and should have planned for the off season? Nah, I got to get him out as soon as possible. I was trying to plan it for the off season, but I don't think it can wait till then. I tried to push it off. I got the news in like May, and I was like, ugh. Sorry, Maxwell. I know it comes and goes. I'll be behind in 10 minutes anyways. Be able to talk. You had all four, like the sedation. I'm not doing the crazy drugs. I'm gonna try and make it as minimal as possible. So we'll see. But either way, I'm definitely gonna have to get someone. I think. Plus, I think it'd be cool, right? Have a little guest appearance, come in, just someone talk about something. What do I think about the recent roster moves? I think they're fairly insignificant, right, Edgar? But I do think they marginally improved the Red Sox, right? I think getting Yu Chang back, and getting Yu Chang back is going to be huge for the Red Sox defense. I think obviously James Paxton coming back from paternity leave is fine. Caleb Orr being on the IL, I hope he's all right. But at the end of the day, I don't think him being on here improves it at all. Ryan Sheriff being DFA was a bit surprising. I'll write it down, Chance. Thank you. But at the same time, too, you got Walter, you got Murphy. I think the two of those guys in here and doing what they're doing at the big league level have a higher potential than Ryan Sheriff, who was 33. He was sort of a journeyman type guy. So overall, I think most of the moves were pretty good. Yeah, appreciate it, Chance. Yeah, if you guys have any prospects you want me to try and highlight, I'm going to try and do one once a week going forward. I did one this week. Did I? I don't think I did. Baby Doogie, come on now. Baby Doogie. Needed that. Doogie's been kind of cold lately. He needed that. Benellis, gonna be a little tricky. He hasn't been doing very well this year. I did a Blaze one at the Miguel Blaze at the beginning of the year. But he's got he got surgeries out for the year, so it'd be tough to give a little bit of an update on that. Do I like Murphy and Walters on the Red Sox? I like what they've been doing so far. I still think, it's a bit iffy as to what their future might look like, but I think overall, yeah. I like what they've done so far. Yeah, but Benellis has been, although he hit a tank when I went to the game. He hit an absolute bomb, but overall. The secret base people? What? Hope we draft Gavin Klein, shortstop out of Louisville again in 2025. Yeah. Yeah, after Sunday, we will have new prospects. Would you guys rather I did one video highlighting each of the first 4 rounds, or would you guys like... Oh, that was a rocket. Was that a fair ball? That was a fair ball. Let's go, Kike. That was a foul ball? Inches. Gavin Kalen. Kike may need to be traded. I wouldn't be shocked if they did. At all. Yeah, but I think in terms of what the Reds like, I've been doing or I've been doing sort of highlights of each of the big prospects and what prospects have been doing on this channel. What's up, Dennis? Welcome in. One video breaking down the first 4 rounds. They don't do round day by day, right? They'll do I'm gonna look it up. No, they definitely don't, right? They do 10 rounds a day. First 2 rounds? Yeah, okay. Rounds 1 and 2 is Sunday, and then Mondays 3 through 10, and then Tuesdays 11 through 20. Maybe, you know what, chat? Maybe we'll do a highlight of the number 1 pick, or we'll do highlights of the 1 through 3. Yeah, and then undeclared free agents, which could be interesting, but I don't know if it'll be worth covering. Kike. Your time in the casino didn't go well, Dennis? I'm sorry to hear that. Would I ever do a draft live stream? I would consider it. The problem is, JC, I got to move next entire weekend packing. I don't think I have time to do a video on Sunday and a live stream on Sunday. So, plus the draft is pretty long. So, yeah, I don't think I'll have time. When's the international signing period? I believe it's during the off season. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Who's playing shortstop? Yu Chang. Wait till it's over. No, it's just a one-time thing, Pac-Man, yeah. It was just because I was too busy Wednesday to get it. So, it's pretty good. Pretty good, Prodigy. Man, chat, you know what I can't wait for next weekend? Central AC. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am sweating right now. It is because there's no AC in this room and the door has to be closed just for auditory reasons. And it's 90 degrees out, so having a window open does nothing. It is brutal. It is brutal. Oh, top 8. Top 8. Yeah, I need central AC like I need life right now. It's literally the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. And chat, we get a chance to redecorate the studio. Any suggestions? I definitely want to get some more stuff hung up, some more Red Sox stuff hung up, but outside of that, I'm thinking maybe some LED lights. Why is it taking so long? Because I don't have it in my current apartment. Autograph picture of Poppy? Well, all right. A life-size version of Jaron Duran. That would scare the crap out of me every time I came into the room. What are the jerseys on the back? It's Hernandez and Devers. Red walls? Not in the least. A Massa jersey? True. I do need a Massa jersey. Maybe that'll be the big investment. Even though no baseball until next Friday. Is Wednesday the All-Star game? Or the Home Run Derby? It's one of the two, right? I might do that. It is... Oh, it's neither. It's a great question. Would you guys be interested in an All-Star game live stream? I mean, there's no Red Sox players in it. Kenley probably won't even pitch. So I might just do... Maybe we'll do a live... It's a great question. We may just skip the stream next week just so I can get ready for the move. Yeah, because Tuesday I'll watch the All-Star game. Monday I'll watch the Home Run Derby for sure. We'll figure it out, chap. Figure it out. Would you guys even want that? Would you guys even want a All-Star game live stream if there's no Red Sox? That'll be interesting in terms of videos because I've already done my grading. Do we talk about buyers or sellers maybe? Why do they keep zooming in on James Paxton? Home Run Derby live stream, it's a possibility. Which Sox are in the futures game? A lot of. They are tied with the most members of the futures game. Marcelo Meyer, Nick York, and Luis Perales. Technically, it was Shane Drohan, but they took him out precautionary. Which month do you think is the most important month to win games just from competition for the rest of the season? It was Luis Guerrero? Okay, thanks, Chance. Yeah. I always get those two confused. I don't know why. I think it's this month. The rest of July. It's so funny how much better Kike is at second base and shortstop. Those 100? Yeah, I knew one of them did. Dude's been a beast out of the bullpen this year. Need a hat rack for all my Red Sox hats. It's an interesting one. That'd be kind of cool, actually. Pirelli, so yeah, okay. Pirelli's doesn't hit 100 often, right? That guy Guerrero is a flamethrower. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that's what I'll make the video on this weekend, chap. The future of Red Sox relief pitching. Ba-na-na, ba-na-na. NBA Summer League? Definitely not. Yeah, July's going to be crucial. My Celtics fan? Yeah. I like the Celtics. But I live or die so much by the Red Sox that, like, I just, when other sports are on, I just, like, decompress. Like, it's honestly kind of like a stress relief for me watching other sports. Like what during football season, a friend of mine who's a Buffalo Bills fan the other day, so I explained this the other day to a Bills fan, and he's like, dude, I don't understand how, like, because we were talking about the Patriots and the state of the Patriots, and he was like, I don't understand, like, wouldn't that frustrate you after being so good for so long? And it's like, well, I mean, think about it, right? You're sort of like prime, like, fandom years where, like, these guys are your gods, right? The players on that field are gods. They're inhuman, right? For me, that was during the era where you had the greatest quarterback of all time paired with the greatest coach of all time, the greatest tight end of all time, with some of the greatest teams of all time, with the greatest owner of all time, right? For 20 years, Patriots fans got that. So for me, it's like, well, I saw all of that. I lived all of that, right? I saw all of that, and I'm not like, I don't live or die by the Patriots. So for me, it's like, yeah, I don't care that the Bills are good, right? I really don't care that the Patriots are mediocre because I saw so much amazing football for 20 years. Anthony gifting 1 membership to John Graham. Congratulations, John. Can we get some shout outs to Anthony? Thank you so much, Anthony. Can we get some claps to the chat? Thank you, Anthony. Welcome in, my friend. Glad you could make it. It is, Jason. It is hard to do. It's hard to do. It's all good, Anthony. I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Yeah, it's a bit of a different stream today. Oh, he got into that one. No, he didn't. Looked like he hit that pretty well. Did I try the grimace shake yet? No, I'm a little nervous too. Yeah, I could see that versatility for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing, Jason. It's like you got to put things in perspective, you know. Oh, when do you think the next time they're putting in bids, Peter, for the 2025 and 2027? If they do that, I will 1 billion% be going. I don't care what the cost is. I will 1 billion% be going to the All-Star game. I'll try to go to the Home Run Derby. Yeah, basically, you covered it pretty well, Nate. covered my opinion pretty well. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's yeah. They put in a bid for 2025 and 2027. I really hope Boston gets it, man. I would love to go to an All-Star game at Fenway. Not even the All-Star game. Just give me the Home Run Derby. Get me onto the field. By 2025, I want a media pass. I want to make the best damn content east of the Mississippi for you guys. Do I plan on getting a Justin Turner jersey? No, because I technically already have one because I bought the no-name number 2 Xander Bogaerts City Connect one. Yeah, I will be the happiest Red Sox baseball fan in the world. Not much longevity in a Turner jersey, true, but it's still I love Turner, man. I really do. I understand he's not going to be around a ton, but Yankees lost. Good news for us. I think it was 1999, Jason. Where do I rank Core on the Red Sox all time? I didn't see enough managers to give you a legitimate answer, but right now I'd put him at number 2 behind Francona. He did not. Yeah, but Turner's your favorite player. He's very quickly becoming one of mine. It was the first All-Star game you watched? That's insane. Right, Kenneth. That's what I'm saying. With the Patriots, right? We saw quite literally something that will never be topped ever again. Can we all agree? We can all agree Bobby is the worst. I don't think Bobby's the worst. I think he's a good guy. Who are the Blue Jays playing? Where they're beating 12-2. That's pretty crazy, Pac-Man. Turner's top 3. Oops, this is top 9. Yeah, Bobby Valentine's my number 1. Oh. Okay, Meek. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Bobby Valentine is the worst. John Farrell was pretty bad too, to be honest with you. I think he just, he ran into a team that just had, aspirations on their mind. Yeah, I think John Farrell. I was just such. I don't know. I'm such John Farrell was fine. Grady Little. See, I don't think I was old enough for Grady Little. The first manager, yeah, definitely not. First manager I remember was Francona, and then Valentine, and then Farrell, and then who was in between Farrell? Was there someone in between Farrell and Cora? There had to have been. Or was it no, it was Francona, Farrell, Valentine, right? Because the Valentine season was what, 20? No. Because that was 2012, right? Was the Valentine season? Honestly, chat, I don't remember. I'm terrible with that kind of stuff. Let me see. All right, so when Francona, Valentine was 2012, yeah. Then Farrell coached for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Huh. Yeah, Chance, there's been a lot of arguments that Core's kind of mid. I think Core's got so many great strengths that I would put him above mid, but there have been some decisions this year that I just simply haven't agreed with. Do I go to spring training games? I've been to them before, but I haven't gone in a while. I do want to try and get down there, K-Dog. Yeah, it was Roanoke, something like that. Ron Roenick. Who's in the game right now pitching, Jakes? Yeah, that's what versatility. That's what I think. Yeah, yeah. He's such a great players manager, right? Yeah, a chance. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. I don't really care, right? He was here for one really short, crappy season. Yeah, versatility. I think that's it, right? Alex Cora is so great at managing personalities. He's great at managing players as individuals. I think that does. I think that's essentially the biggest job of a manager. I think that's why I love Alex Cora so much. But there are times where, like, the in-season stuff where I'm like, okay, well, and I think that's where, to some degree, that's where Alex Cora falters a little bit, right? Because I think there were times last year, there were times this year where decisions in game were made where it didn't work out. But there were also times where it worked out really well. So yeah, Mike, I'm just I'm not good with managers, but that's awesome, Pac-Man. Yeah, it must be pretty cool. Yeah, I did love it down there. See, I think that's where you're wrong, Chance. I think he does elevate players and he motivates players, and I think individually he does really well. And to be honest with you, I don't think I put much of the blame on this season on Alex Cora. But again, at the same time, too, Chance, like what manager in baseball could get a bad roster and elevate his team to the point where they are legitimate contenders? That's exactly it, Dennis. Yes, I agree. That's, yeah, versatility. And I 100% agree with that, for sure. Currently playing in baseball right now. Right? What is the manager that could take a really, and I'm talking bad roster, right? And make them a contending team, because at the end of the day, a manager's only as good. Oh, game over. See, I just don't agree with that, Chance. But hey, it's each, opinions are opinions. Everyone's got them. All right, chat. We did it. Red Sox beat the Oakland Athletics. Huge win. But it's good, right? 3 wins in a row. Red break. They are now 2 games back of a wild card spot. 2 games back. Let's go. Huge, right? This could be a huge momentum builder. Yu Chang is back. Schreiber's getting close. I love it. 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 Shout out Mr. Mad. Shout out Mike, Anthony, all you guys for supporting the channel tonight. If you've been here for 10 minutes, you've been here for the entire time. We've been live for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it has been absolutely incredible. I love it. But I appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. And I will see you guys live stream probably after the All-Star break, but also on Sunday and